sun. In Los Angeles, the partial eclipse meant that just a little bit less than 70% of the sun was ultimately blocked. But still, this earned plenty of oohs and ahs from appreciative astronomers.
Yes, it did last. But here is what the eclipse looked like from the skies over Hawaii. Tens of thousands of folks lucky enough to be in the islands today got the biggest show over the Earth. Nearly 7 minutes full of totality. And there is the blue. It is the sun's corona. When the moon moved across the sun, it cast darkness on the ground below, and it was only 7:30 in the morning.
I love it. Isn't that neat? It looks it.
And the hide-and-seek sun brought out Southland sightseers, too.
That's the benefits when you send your kid to the university and spend $25,000. He comes up with this papier-mâché projector.
And here's a piece of trivia. Every year, at least 2 solar eclipses occur somewhere in the world.
Younger viewers at a local junior high school turned out to be a tough audience for the eclipse. Students were let out of class in shifts to try to get a look through a telescope.
That was boring.
Students had been warned all week not to look directly at the sun, and quite fortunately, at least at this instance, not a single one of them looked up.
Good.
For most of us, the eclipse was just a spectacular light show. For astronomers, however, it was a rare chance to turn theory into fact. Steve Rambo's Daily Planet now looks at what scientists and all the rest of us can learn from today's eclipse. Steve.
Jim, scientists wait for years for an eclipse so they can test some of their theories. In fact, it was during a total eclipse that Albert Einstein proved his general theory of relativity. So we went up to Mount Wilson Observatory, where professionals and amateurs alike were getting heated up over the sun. Just 1 hour out of Los Angeles and 5,000 feet above the smog, Mount Wilson is considered just about the best place in the world to look at the sun. In fact, it's what makes LA smoggy that makes Mount Wilson a stargazer's dream.
It's this inversion layer that you know a lot about, Steve. It keeps a pressure on to have the haze sit in the atmosphere below over Los Angeles, and up here it's just clear and steady above this inversion layer.
They have 2 solar telescopes here, one 60 feet high, the other 150 feet. As hundreds of visitors lined up to get inside for a glimpse, scientists gathered vital information about what makes the sun tick.
Well, once we have an idea, a theory that explains all this, then we should be able to say when these things will happen in the future. So we'd be able to predict when there's going to be a large solar flare, when communications will be fouled up. If we have astronauts in space, they would be in danger of radiation sickness.
Some of the amateurs are nearly as serious about their sun studies. Steve Golden set up a 14-inch telescope with a video camera attached and handed out Polaroid-like pictures of a blue moon munching an orange sun.
There's a lot of granular activity on here, which is rather nice. Some magnetic fields you can see, which they do a great deal of study here.
But studying was not on most people's minds. This was fun. There were the usual Mylar-coated glasses and some good box projectors. But we also learned how to see the eclipse in the shadow of a tree and even through a lady's hat. Okay, now do you realize you have eclipses on you?
No.
Right across here from your hat. Can you see them when you look down? Well,
No, I can't.
you
I
can't.
just see
Well, give me your hat. Give me your hat. I'll put it on for you for a minute. Now kind of come stand over here.
I see them on
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
You're just a walking eclipse projector. The Mount Wilson Observatory is a great place to learn about astronomy, and a great place for kids, too. It's open to the public from 10 to 4, and they promise a clear view every day of the week. Griffith, eat your heart out.
Great place to borrow a hat, too.
Absolutely. Very nice lady to give me her hat, and I didn't give it back. I did.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much, Steve. Still